Hello, everybody. It's Alpha Chain 19 coming here at you for the start of the NFL season. It is about to be week one in the NFL in a few days. The kickoff being with the Ravens and the Chiefs game on Thursday night. And today I'm going to make my picks for week one of the NFL season. I actually this is the second recording of this because the first one ended up being like 41 minutes long, and I was like, that's way too long, so we're gonna try to make it a lot shorter. But before we get into my picks, don't forget to like the video for the algorithm and hit the subscribe button because I believe only about 1% of the people that watch this video are subscribed, and hitting the like button and subscribing does help my channel out a lot. Okay, so now we've got the PSA out there. Well, let's get into the actual video. Okay, so the Ravens and the Chiefs. Now, I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm going to be a little bit biased on this one a little bit. All the other ones, I'll try to be non biased, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Ravens here. I think the Ravens can get it done. I think they're going to get it done 28-24. I think that would be a reasonable expectation to have. Obviously, the Ravens are going into this game as underdogs, but I don't think they're that big of an underdog. But I think they can get it done and surprise people out here on week one. Okay, so next we have the Packers and the Eagles. And, that's a good matchup there. Two good quarterbacks in Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. And, if it was last year, like I said in my first recording, I think that I would have picked the Eagles if it was last year. But this year, I feel like the Packers are slightly better. So I'm going to go ahead with the Packers, give the Pack a slight edge, 24-20. I think the Packers get it done. Then Steelers versus Atlanta. I did find out recently that Kirk Cousins is actually the Atlanta Falcons' starter quarterback. Russell Wilson was just recently announced to be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, I think the Steelers are going to get this done. I think they're going to beat the Falcons. The Falcons are kind of a dark horse potential playoff team this year, but they always are every single season over the last few seasons. And it's like, well, they do play in a division that's not very good, but overall, I think the matchup, Pittsburgh just looks better on paper. I'm going to give the Steelers a 23-20 victory over the Falcons and move on from there. All right. So the Buffalo Bills versus the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Bills are a better team. It's going to be close just because of the fact that Kyler Murray is coming back and is healthy, and Josh Allen and Kyler Murray will have a pretty decent good duel. However, I think Josh Allen is better. I think the Bills overall are better, and so I think the Bills are going to end up winning that game. I'll say 27-23. Gonna be close, but I think the Bills take it. Bears versus Tennessee. Caleb Williams' first game in the NFL. All right, so I don't think Tennessee's good at all this year. I think they're gonna just be awful. I think it'll be great for Caleb Williams to start out in this game like this. I think the Bears can go ahead and win this 24-10. I think, 24 is a good amount of points for Caleb Williams to be scoring and to be leading his offense to in his first game. And realistically, I just don't think the Titans are that good at all, reasonably, especially after losing Derrick Henry and the free agency market to the Ravens. Obviously, I think that's a huge blow. And I think that overall, the Bears, because of that, are a better team. Caleb Williams is it is yet to be seen whether Caleb Williams is going to be successful in the NFL, but he has had a really good training camp, and I think he played a couple of drives in the preseason, and he did pretty well in those things. So I think that Caleb Williams is actually going to be a good player in the NFL if he can play up to the level that C.J. Stroud did last year. I think that's all he realistically needs to do to make the Bears better. So I think the Bears take that W. Next, the Cincinnati Bengals versus New England Patriots. Bill Belichick has officially retired. No more Mac Jones. Tom Brady's been gone for a while. Uh, the Bengals win. Yeah, no, the Bengals win 31-10. Joe Burrow is fully healthy. Joe Mixon fully healthy. Jamar Chase fully healthy. The Bengals are actually like a way better team than the Patriots are currently. It's not the Patriots of old. They're still a bad team. They're not going to do very well. The Bengals are going to win. Um, the Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. CJ Stroud is really good. Anthony Richardson. I don't know who the Colts are really getting. Oh, why did we do that? I don't know who the Colts are really going to put out there as their starter QB, but I assume it's going to be Richardson. And I mean, like, it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be about 28-24 Texans, and I think the Texans are just slightly better than the Colts. So I think that they're going to go ahead and win that one. Let's see. Jacksonville versus Miami. I said this before earlier when I was recording before, but I think that Miami has the best offense in the NFL when they are all on the field together. I mean, talking about Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill. I mean, even you could put Tua Tagovailoa in there as the quarterback. I mean, Tua versus you know Trevor Lawrence, like obviously Trevor doesn't have as many weapons. The Jags overall on paper are not as good. Trevor and Tua, in my opinion, are about the same strength of quarterback, where it's kind of like they're kind of in the middle ground in the NFL, where you're going to be able to win some games, probably make the playoffs with both those guys. Tua just has more weapons than Trevor does, and because of that, I think that the Dolphins take this one about probably about 28-24, just like I said for the Colts and Houston. Oh, this game, that seems reasonable to me. Carolina versus New Orleans, probably going to be the worst game of the week. Both teams are not that great. Um, I think that New Orleans wins 13-10. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be an awful game in terms of turnovers. I think it's just not going to be good football to be watching overall. And I think that New Orleans ekes out a win there, even though Carolina, in my opinion, is still the worst team in the NFL. Minnesota versus New York Giants. All right. Well, I looked this up too, and it turns out that the Vikings, uh, man, I forget already who their starting quarterback is. I'll have to look it up again. I literally forgot. I know that for the Giants. Oh wait, no, Sam Darnold. There we go. Sam Darnold is starting right now for the Vikings, and that's why I'm a little bit. If it had been J.J. McCarthy, based on what he was able to do in the preseason, I would say that the Vikings have the edge here. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Giants actually do win this game, like 17-10 or something like that, just because of the fact that I don't really trust Sam Darnold at all. I don't really trust Daniel Jones at all either as a quarterback, but I would actually trust Daniel Jones a little bit more than I do Sam Darnold, uh, just given the history of both players. So I think the Giants take that one in a win against the Vikings there. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Personally, I think that Jim Harbaugh doesn't change that much about the Chargers as a team. I think Justin Herbert is way better than the Raiders quarterback, whoever that may be. Oh yeah, it's friggin' Gardner Minshew. So yeah, I think that even with that, I think the LA Chargers are gonna get a W here. Even though I think both these teams are a little bit suspect this year. I think they win by 2 points. I think they win 32-30 against the Raiders. Broncos against the Seattle Seahawks in the Russell Wilson Bowl. um, yeah, no, I think the Seahawks win this one pretty easily. I think they're much better as a team overall than the Broncos are. I don't even need to look up the Broncos quarterback to know that. I just know that the Seahawks are better. I think the Seahawks win 28-14, and that's just how it is. Browns versus the Cowboys. So again, I was talking about this. I think Dak Prescott is better than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has been shaky for the Browns overall. I mean, the Browns defense is probably one of the best defenses in the NFL, but I just don't see how you defend against all of those receivers, especially if CeeDee Lamb coming back officially now to the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't see how the Browns are going to realistically get it done. I think the Cowboys take this one 33-30. It's going to be a high scoring, fun game to watch. I would watch it. Personally, it seems like it's going to be a very fun game to watch. Buccaneers versus Commanders. The Commanders, I believe, have a rookie quarterback this year starting for them, and then Baker Mayfield for the Buccaneers. I think this game will probably be a close game, but I think the Buccaneers will end up winning it about 24-17. And the reason I think the Buccaneers are going to win it is I think that overall, on paper, the Buccaneers are a better team. And I think with Baker Mayfield, you consistently should be able to win against teams like the Commanders and maybe struggle against better teams. I mean, the Buccaneers are in a weird situation where it's like that division is just so bad that they probably should just be able to win it with like relative ease. It's either going to be the Buccaneers who win it or the Falcons probably. Because like the Saints could theoretically win it, but like that's how I feel about. I feel like about the Buccaneers, the Saints, and Falcons are like and then obviously like the Panthers are totally basically out of it every single time. That's just the way it is. I think the Buccaneers do beat the Commanders though, and that's all I got to say about that one. So Detroit versus Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford versus Jared Goff. Kind of like the rivalry of mid, realistically. I think that the Lions are a better team this year than the Rams are. And I think the Lions take this one probably like 34-30. It's going to be a high scoring game. At first, I thought it was going to be a lower scoring game than that, but I'm going to change my prediction for this one. The 34-30 for the Lions. And that's just the way I think it's going to go. And then the last game this week is the New York Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers should be back and healthy for this game. Last year, he got sacked pretty hard in like the first couple of plays in the game, and it just didn't go that well. We all know he was out for like the entire season last year, and this year will be hopefully for the Jets his first full season playing for them. I mean, obviously that was technically last year, but hopefully he remains healthy this year, so that way we can at least see what Aaron Rodgers on the Jets looks like, because we technically got it last year for about 5 seconds, and it didn't end well. So maybe this year will end better. But even with that, I think that the 49ers are still a better overall team, and I kind of see them winning this game probably about 32-28. I think that's what the final score is going to be. I think the Jets are going to be a really good team this year if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers elevates them, but I just don't know that they're going to be as good as most people think that they are, right? Because don't forget that Aaron Rodgers, whenever the Packers were in down years, wasn't able to elevate the Packers enough to get them past like that kind of like 10 to 11 win season if they were having like bad years. Now, obviously, if they're having really good years, he could do that. I just don't know that the Jets have the talent around on that team to be able to elevate them past a team like the 49ers right now. That to me, if the Jets could win, that would be a statement win if they do. Obviously, because the 49ers were the Super Bowl losers last year. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but they were there. So I mean that's significant. But I think like for the Jets, if they were to win, it would be an upset. So I think personally the 49ers end up winning this game. And we'll see how that goes. Um so those my predictions for this week. Uh and if you guys enjoyed that, then give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button again. I think probably about 1% of the people that watch this video are actually subscribed. So go ahead and watch the video. Give it a like, hit subscribe. I'm done giving out multiple PSAs to do things. So I'll peace out. Hopefully, I'll see you guys next week if I actually remember to do this on time. All right. Let's go get on to watching some football starting this Thursday.